Hello and welcome to Casual. I'm Kasper.
And I'm Robert, and this is a show about curiosity and technology.
Yeah, we're going to discuss a lot about technology, and I think we should start with Web3. I mean, this is a buzzword that I've been hearing all along, and the question is, what is Web3? And I've been Googling. You wouldn't guess, right? And once I started Googling, I immediately acknowledged an article by Wired, and there are a couple buzzwords here that we definitely should discuss. So we see the Web3 as being the next phase of the internet and perhaps of organizing society, which sounds exciting. But there are a couple of other buzzwords here, such as, where is it? Blockchain and decentralized services. So
Yeah.
this is something that we should discuss for the first episode.
Okay. First of all, I don't know, how do you perceive Web 3.0 other than the blockchain? Because we've had Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 was all those fancy CSS styles and the stylings on the pages. Everything was 50-50. I think Apple was kind of the main pusher behind it. And now we have Web 3.0. Right? So let's, before we jump into the blockchain, let's try to discuss what we could speculate around what it could be.
Yeah, so for me, this is just moving from siloed information, which lives on dedicated servers, to something that's being shared amongst computers. How am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. Like, even if we then start slowly progressing into the blockchain, maybe the first question that we can explain to our viewers is, what is blockchain, or how blockchain works. So yeah, let me start sharing my screen. So in short, what is a blockchain and how it works? So it has multiple parts. So the transaction itself, the block, the verification, the hash, and the execution. So if you just go through this simple chart, let's say I want to send money to you, Gasper, and the transaction is represented online as a block, and the block is broadcasted to every party in the network. So this is the charm of it, right? So everybody that is involved in the blockchain has a copy of the blockchain. Thus, this makes it decentralized. So if every app could be completely decentralized, I think that would be pretty amazing. What do you think?
So in that case, we are removing all third-party services, such as banking in this case, right?
Yeah, that sounds kind of high risk, but also like good for the people. So like there's no central authority owning or flying over something, and it's driven by people, not some big corporations that can manipulate certain aspects of it.
So we are just sharing information across the whole network, and we are basically, everybody's owning that information, verifying that information, and being a part of the system.
Yeah.
And nobody is isolated. Everybody's got a chance to participate.
Yeah. Everybody has a chance to participate and also verify everything that is on the blockchain. So if we just go through and finish this graph, so we were left off that the block is broadcasted to every party in the network, and then those in the network approve the transaction is valid. So the most common way right now is the proof of work system. So the main incentive behind the blockchain is because your computational power from the computer is borrowed for calculating the blocks between transactions, and when that's done, you get rewarded for something. So that's the main incentive behind it. And then the block can be added to the chain, which provides an indelible and transparent record of transactions, and then the money finally moves after everything is confirmed.
So that means that I can be a part of the network where I want to use that services to, for example, send money, or I can be a part of the network where I verify those transactions as a node in the network, right?
Exactly.
And I get rewarded for this, and this is basically the incentive that's driving the blockchain. So I get money for providing the service.
Exactly. Your computational services, to be more exact. So yeah, if we go back to the Web 3.0, so I don't know, it's kind of hard to imagine everything being fully decentralized from my perspective, because everything we've built so far, excluding the blockchain, is been basically decentralized. So it's
It's kind of
hard.
scary, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's like, who is gonna move all these things to some sort of decentralized service?
It's going to be that gray eminence in the background. So the whole society will be working, but you are losing the third party service, which now, I mean, you are still trusting one company or multiple companies with your information, with your data, with your money, and you're just expecting or you're relying on them. And if they go bankrupt, if they just shut down the service, you're, pardon my French, screwed.
Yeah,
And
you are.
in the case of relying onto society, and especially if we are financially motivated to provide a service, maybe the reliability goes up, but we lose the customer support service.
Yeah, but okay, just imagine. I had this epiphany right now. So imagine there was a decentralized Facebook, but let's not call it Facebook. Let's call it Xbook.
Mhm.
And we all know in the history that Facebook changed its layout a couple of times, and we all hated it, and we didn't like where it was going. So in the case of some sort of decentralized platform, the users could decide, okay, let's make a fork and do it our way.
Okay, this sounds familiar. And just a caveat, I'm not a developer, but I heard that Linux works in the same way. It's owned by a community and we can fork separate instances which suit our needs. Is that correct? Or
That's completely correct. Yeah.
so basically we already use that technology, although we cannot compare Linux to decentralized blockchains or anything, but we already have that system which apparently works.
Yes, yeah. So so itself, I don't know if forking itself, I don't think it's technology, but it's a way of, having one thing and then just cloning it and going the other
Mhm.
way. So there's usually one most popular fork if we're just comparing it to Linux. But so even Bitcoin has a couple of forks, right? So Bitcoin, there's Bitcoin Cash, there's, I don't know, there's Bitcoin Gold, there's a couple of different forks, but they never really took off, I would say.
Okay, we've
Uh,
just made a massive jump from blockchain to cryptocurrencies. Let's just circle back a bit. So, cryptocurrencies are rewards for providing a service, and we have many of them, right? A couple of thousand different cryptocurrencies.
yeah, over 10, 15,000 of them that are public. Yeah.
Okay, over 10, 15,000 that are public. That's a massive amount of numbers. So, anybody can start a project or not.
Yeah, anyone can start a project if you have an idea. It can go into multiple categories. So one of them is you can have a, how do they call meme coins. So it's, if
Mhm.
your coin is a meme, you can make it overnight. There are services online that can generate this token for you, including the amount of tokens, on which platform it's running. You can do that from anywhere from, I don't know, $100 to $300. You can have your own coin, but
Wow.
it doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't have anything to back it up, like in other bigger cryptocurrencies which have a solid foundation.
Okay, talking about meme coins, we are going away from the decentralized world in which I want to live in, maybe. But let's go towards more stable systems. So you mentioned Bitcoin. I think that we already mentioned Ethereum, and there are a lot of cryptocurrencies which hold a massive market cap, meaning that there are a large amount of money locked into it.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
true.
the whole new market, and that market behaves similar to stock market. I mean, I saw a lot of technical indicators and analysis saying Bitcoin will go to this amount, Bitcoin will fall, Bitcoin will rise, Ethereum will rise. We are at all-time highs. There's such hype. I mean, you can follow articles which pop up every couple of months. This cryptocurrency is reaching all-time highs. It's not too late to jump in. Everybody get on the train, and it's a real market, and people are getting lots of money in it.
Yes. So I have to agree that when you made the comparison that it's similar to stock market. So yeah, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, it means you believed in the Bitcoin, how do you say, vision and
Mhm.
what it has to offer. And it's same with any other crypto project. You can come to its earliest stages, which is also ICO, IDO. That those are the terms. In those are the stages in which you can invest in a coin if you believe, or in the project, if you believe that someday it will go up, or you just want to see it succeed. Same as in buying Coca-Cola stocks back early in the day, because you would be like, okay, this is the drink for the whole world. And it's same with Bitcoin. And in what drives it is also psychology, right? So even the stocks and everything, it's not just based on how the company is doing. It's also driven by fear and greed and general emotions of the people that are trading in the market.
Okay, I heard some keywords there that correspond to indicators that I'm familiar with. I know that there is a feed and greed index. I know that there's what is it called? NUPL. We've got moving averages. We've got stuff like that that is similar to stock market, but apparently it calculates different scenarios or takes different inputs to anticipate the price of a selected cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
And I think this is something that we should discuss more into the details into our next episodes. Maybe
yeah,
that would be number 2, number 3, number 4. As for everybody, this is episode number 1. And
yeah.
yeah, a caveat: this is not financial advice. We are just two blokes
It's
talking
really
about.
for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, we're just two blokes talking about interesting things, and Web3 is definitely something that we're going to be a part of. It's going to happen. It's already happening. It's going to be the next big thing, as we saw in the article at the beginning. And I think that maybe cryptocurrency indicators should be our next topic, because apparently we can make a lot of money there. Is that true?
Yeah, we can make a lot of money. We can lose a lot amount of money. It's really hard to say. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can see directly into the future. But there are a couple of small indicators that can help us along the way, that can like make us make educated guesses and stuff like that. But this is something that we can talk out for hours and hours and hours. So yeah, I'm really excited that we started off this project, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fruitful conversations.
Okay, I see a lot of different topics, but let's wrap it up for this one and leave the indicators for the next episode. And we're going to start with some basics and maybe even go into more complicated stuff later on.
I'm
Okay,
excited for that as well.
looking forward to it and glad to be doing this with you.
Same man.
Thank
Have
you,
a great day,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.